Hi, I'm Alex Bobatek, co-chairman of MAAWG. With me here today is M3AAWG-LAP of Industry Canada. We had the pleasure of working together on a report describing online and mobile threats, including best practices for dealing with them. Andre, welcome.
Thank you.
So Andre, what events led to the drafting of this report?
Well, in 2011, in October, MAAWG and LAP were invited to present what the online landscape looked like to the OECD. So we were in Paris. We presented Michael O'Riordan, who was chair of MAAWG at the time, and myself as a secretariat member of LAP, presented and really highlighted for the OECD that it wasn't just about spam anymore. What was in place was good, it was helping address the issue, but that the online and mobile threat environment had evolved since 2004 and 2006, the last time the OECD had published recommendations in this space. So follow up to that meeting in the fall of 2011, we met with the Secretariat and the chair of the Consumer Policy Committee at the OECD, and he suggested that if we were amenable to it, that MAAWG and LAP draft up a report on the current state of the online and mobile threat environment and best practice recommendations for addressing these threats.
So Andre, where does the report go from here?
Well, last week we presented to the OECD, the Consumer Policy Committee, and they're reviewing the report now along with two other committees at the OECD. So the report also went to the Working Party on Information Security and Privacy and to their parent committee on Information Communications and Computing. So when the various groups are done their review of the report, they're going to provide us feedback over the next few months. I'll follow up with the secretariats in Paris to figure out where we take the report from here.
Andre, another party to this report is the London Action Plan. Can you tell us who and what the London Action Plan are?
The London Action Plan is made up of either government enforcement or law enforcement agencies, governments, and some members from industry. And it's basically the anti-spam enforcement network. Now, much the same as MAAWG has kind of further developed its approach to the mobile and malware space, the London Action Plan has also added these, and we've actually just recently added a group that enforces telemarketing rules globally. So they're a sub-branch of the London Action Plan. It's made up of, I think there are 28 countries that are members. We have representation from almost all of those. So one of the great things about the report, Alex, was the fact that we had so many industry volunteers, experts that look at these issues on a day-to-day basis, help us with the report. Why were these people so keen on volunteering to help draft this?
Well, this was a wonderful opportunity for industry to update the global community on the levels of threats, the types of threats, and also what we need to do about them.
What were the key messages that the contributors of the report wanted to get across in the report?
Industries learned a lot from the past threats. Industries learned that their mitigation involves industry, academia, and government all working together. And we've also seen, as in the email case, that this is a global issue. It's one where all countries need to work together. The threats are becoming more and more sophisticated. They're becoming more global, and we need to work together, all three of these parties.
The report was divided into 4 sections into 4 specific fields. Can you describe those for us?
Malware and bots are the first section. Social engineering and phishing is the second. The third is IP and DNS exploits, and finally the mobile threats.
And what sets, I guess, it sounds new, but the mobile threat section, it seems that everything seems to be migrating into the mobile space. We're now able to conclude transactions with our handheld devices. There are cameras, there are alarm clocks. These devices are capable of doing a large number of tasks. Why are these mobile threats now different or evolving in this space?
The attackers really don't care where they attack. They just want to make money, and they're looking for softer targets. What we're seeing is an explosive growth of the mobile infrastructure and use. We're seeing mobile devices, smartphones, being used where in the past we were using computers or perhaps phone calls. We're seeing more and more valuable information stored on these devices. So from a criminal's perspective, it's more valuable to go and attack a phone. Second, it's becoming easier and easier to exploit. People are downloading apps like they're going out of style. It's unusual to find a smartphone user with less than half a dozen downloaded apps on them. So this makes for a very rich abuse environment for the attackers. And we're seeing really a similar pattern to what we saw in the IP space. As we increase our use of smartphones, we have more and more threats to deal with in this space, and we see this trend increasing in sophistication and breadth. Well, thank you, Andre. Thanks for coming to MAAWG.
Well, thank you for having me. I mean, the opportunity to put this report together, we hope it gets some mileage with the public. There are recommendations therein for consumers, for industry, and for governments to take steps to address all of these threats.